It's a shambles, Stephen. A shambles.
Hello and welcome to this Wednesday's edition of Movie News here at MBE. We'd just like to thank you once again for joining us here on our YouTube channel and of course our Twitch stream. We have got an action-packed show tonight, John. I'm building it up too much already.
And it was very late in coming, Stephen.
Well, it was, John. I did see Compare covering. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a moment. John had sound issues, if you didn't already know, from yesterday's show. I think it cut out after only 20 minutes, sadly.
Yes.
It was a great show, John. I was watching it, and then all of a sudden it just went to pot. But
Steve,
it was out of your hands. Yeah, I know.
They were the best.
Yeah.
I was very passionate speaking about the
Yeah,
Golden
John.
Globes.
Well, listen, I can lip read, so I enjoyed it. It was really good. It flowed really well right up to the very end. But for people that can't lip read, they sadly missed a great chat. But it was out your hands. There's nothing you can do about it.
The cable's goosed.
Yeah.
The XLR cable's goosed.
But like you said, John, some late news coming in from Emily Blunt. We're going to be talking about her a couple of times tonight with two different franchises. And the first one we're talking about, that's going to be the first of many, no doubt, John. The first of many. But it's The Edge of Tomorrow 2.
It's on a box, guys. It's on a box.
Yeah.
It's on my
Yeah.
XLR AT2020 box, funnily enough. The night that I can't fucking use.
You're killing the illusion, John. You're killing the illusion.
It's on that box, and guess what? Inception. It's on a few other boxes as well.
Yeah. We'll not say what they're on. We'll not kill the illusion completely, but
There's multiple boxes.
the viewers just have to know it's not on your knees.
There are 5 levels.
So anyway, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
After his first
LSD, yeah.
fracas with... no, it was Ash.
Was it
not?
Ash?
Was
I think it was
right,
LSD, yeah.
LSD, acid.
Yeah, there's 7 levels.
7 levels. He's right. Hell.
Yeah. Anyway, but enough of that.
Apparently.
We're talking about Emily Blunt, John. We're talking about Edge of Tomorrow 2. Might be too expensive to make, according to the actor. Emily Blunt admits that Edge of Tomorrow 2 may not get made because it could cost too much money after the first film's nearly $200 million price tag. Now, this is coming in from Screen Rant, John. I'm going to read a part of this. She was very blunt, if you pardon the pun, in her response. But Edge of Tomorrow 2's script is reportedly finished, and Blunt has remained vocal about her desire to make the film. Similarly, director Doug Liman has said that the film getting made depends entirely on the stars as at its centre and whether or not they are available. Both Blunt and Cruise have remained rather busy in the years since Edge of Tomorrow's release.
Someone's going to space.
Yeah, and he's sending things back. Awards release, and it seems no movement has happened on the film for quite some time. And Blunt had said that she's not sure if Edge of Tomorrow 2 will ever get made. Speaking on the Howard Stern show, which obviously she's talking about something else, which we'll cover in a little moment on this show as well. The actress said that she's not sure how they could pull off making the film. One of the reasons she said is because it's too expensive to make. And this is what she said: honestly, I think the movie is too expensive. I just don't know how we're going to do it. John, COVID got a lot to do with this?
See, absolutely. The reality of modern day entertainment now in Hollywood, and further afield as well, is that I wasn't aware of this, but I get educated by someone, and I'm not going to say who was aware of it. Needless to say that studios acquire money in the form of a loan from banks to make these movies. When they earn the money via the box office, they pay it back and then they take their profits. These loans are not going to be flown freely now after this pandemic, not as freely as they were before for movies, unless there's a cast iron guarantee of box office returns. I think COVID's got a huge part to play in it, Steve. I'm going to bring myself onto the screen and showcase this utterly sexual little ball mic. Isn't it just wonderful? It is.
It's a good mic, John.
I like it. It's a nice mic.
Yeah.
Just sadly not get a shot mount or an actual pop filter. So if I'm
It's like the black.
the Snake.
It's like the black. What do you call it from The Last Jedi? The little round.
The Death Troopers.
Yeah, the little droid.
Oh yeah,
The
the
BB-8.
little shite BB-8
Yeah,
droid.
yeah.
Yeah, the little one that snitched on them.
Yeah.
Snitches going snitch, as Ralph Boner said. Stephen, can you
I'll
tell
never get over that.
I've finally got over Fietro being Ralph Boner?
Nope.
I can actually laugh at it now. Stephen, as I was saying, I'll go back to myself briefly here. I'm not overstaying my welcome. I think you're right. I think it's COVID. She's right. It's too expensive to make now. That's the reality, the blunt reality of this movie. I would love to see An Edge of Tomorrow 2. I thought the first one was actually quite good. It was
it was interesting. Yeah,
classic for me. Not fucking classic. It was a cult little popcorn flick. It was enjoyable. I liked the concept of die, repeat,
Groundhog Day.
Groundhog Day, but with more stakes. Well, he was dying as well.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to save the world though, so slightly more stakes. Before Bill Murray was just trying to save himself from being a cold-hearted bitch.
And he did.
Stephen, he did. Yes, he learnt piano. Learnt multiple languages. He became a great ice sculptor.
He became a good person.
Yes. And I particularly loved when he tried to freak out his old school friend who was selling insurance, whose name completely eludes me. By
Ned Ryerson.
Stephen.
Bing!
You didn't want to know, didn't you know?
Yeah, I don't like that film. I've never seen it. Can you tell I'm a fan? Yeah, I love it. John, I try and make a point of watching that every 2nd of February, which is Groundhog Day. Yeah, I love it. Love it.
I grew up watching that movie, and I have to say, being a big fan of Bill Murray, I was, and Aykroyd. Stephen, I didn't know Dan Aykroyd had Asperger's, incidentally.
Didn't know that.
That came up on YouTube. There's a Bostonian or New Yorker, I think he's from Boston though, staying in New York doctor who I just so happened to subscribe to on YouTube, and he was speaking about Elon Musk. This is getting way off the fucking rails here. It's got nothing to do with Emily Blunt or Edge of Tomorrow, but it all connects. There are 7 levels. There you go, there's the connection. Elon Musk says, I think he was on Saturday Night Live, he was saying first person to host with Asperger's. Well, he wasn't. Dan Aykroyd done it. And this guy says Aykroyd did it. Asperger's, connects to Bill Murray, which somehow connects to Groundhog Day, connects to Edge of Tomorrow. There you go. It all connects. 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon. And Aykroyd did Asperger's. It fucking blew my mind. I didn't realise. You would never realise that guy would have had that. No. Elon Musk, yes. Aykroyd, not a chance. He's not awkward. He's not really any of the trademark signs. But Stephen, we're getting off kilter here. Who gives a fuck about that? Let's get back on to Emily Blunt. Edge of Tomorrow. I'd like to see Edge of Tomorrow too, but I think the reality, as you have said, is COVID, money not flowing as freely as it was before. No cast iron guarantee of success of this movie anyway. No guarantee the fans will go into the theatres and watch it. That's going to make it an unlikely movie to get made, because it is going to be expensive. The big CGI effects, Tom Cruise's wage, Emily Blunt's wage. It's going to be a tough nut to get that movie into any form of production and out into theatres. And Stephen, as I did say, just try to get the two calendars to align. Yeah. The schedules, if you'd like. Tom is going to fucking space. He's going to
we talked about scheduling, John, before when we were talking about COVID and the impact it's going to have at the other end of the pandemic, and how it's going to affect a lot of scheduling, not just for the films but the actors as well. So this is the start of it. Yeah,
it's all going to be a bottleneck in the sense of lots of movies that have been put back, movies that are currently just getting into production, yada yada. And as I keep saying, Tom's going to space, which blows my mind. It still blows my mind he's getting sent to space to film a movie. Yeah. And Emily's very busy as well. Sadly not busy doing something that we want to do though, Stephen. So that's a travesty. As I've said there, she delivers some depressing news. Yeah. It's all depressing. Well, she was on Howard Stern. He's a great man. A great show. But it was all really depressing fucking stuff when it comes to Emily Blunt.
Well, especially the next bit, John, because this is what we're hoping for, her and John Krasinski. But that'll be revealed now. This is from Cinema Blend, and Emily Blunt addresses Fantastic Four rumours now. John, I'm kind of mixed about this one, because part of me, when they're doing a Fantastic Four, really wants to do a fresh cast of relatively unknowns. I don't want to have the all-star cast. I don't think that works.
Not with Krasinski and Blunt. No. I mean, come on. The husband and wife, come on. Do something different. Yeah.
But John, Howard Stern,
part of me does want
as usual, is very straight to the point as well in all his interviews that I see, which I like about him. Yeah. He doesn't mince his words. But John,
with Macca, didn't he?
Yeah, he's done one with Ringo as well.
Ringo!
Yeah, Dave Grohl one. He did one with Dave Grohl, and I can't remember the other guy from Nirvana, the one, the bassist.
Chris.
Yeah, he did one with they two, and it was great. I don't know if you've seen it. He was talking about Kurt Cobain. It was fantastic, John. Very emotional, but going off on another tangent here.
And how he didn't write the song February Stars for Kurt.
Yeah.
Just for a jilted lover.
Yeah,
that
but
me tremendously.
Yeah,
was
but
born in February.
Yeah, I know.
I don't believe you, Dave.
Yeah. Well, who knows? We'll never know, I suppose. But during her appearance on Howard Stern, not the Howard Stern, the Howard Stern, Emily Blunt lived up to her name when addressing the Fantastic Four fan casting that have been rumours and fan art flying throughout the internet for some time. I hate when they do that, John. See when I highlight parts of articles that I want to read out. The actual hyperlinks within the paragraphs disappear, and I can barely read it. It's an absolute pain in the ass.
Pain in the ass.
Yeah.
This is such BS, man.
Yeah, it's BS, man.
BS.
And as Mr. Stern asked her whether or not the rumours had, and I can't even spell rumours right, had any more weight to them, Ms. Blunt confirmed they were as see-through as Sue Storm's powers. This led the former MCU candidate to elaborate the following as the conversation progressed. Now, John, I can see it's on the screen anyway, but I'll read it anyway for anyone that doesn't want to believe what they read. That is fan casting, said Emily Blunt. No one has received a phone call. That's just people saying, wouldn't it be great? Howard Stern saying, are you too good of an actress to really take that role seriously? Maybe the whole genre of superhero movies is beneath you. I love the way he just gets to the point. She says, Blunt says... I love the way it just says Blunt.
It's like it's taking me back to when I was a young teenager in secondary school, and I was Long John Silver. And what was it, Treasure Island?
Yeah.
I was playing the main man. And
Yeah.
this takes me back. Long John says, Yar.
Yeah. Why are pirates so mean?
I know. They're from
Because
Bristol,
they are. Anyway, John.
I've been meaning if I was from Bristol.
Emily Blunt says, it's not that it's beneath me. I love Iron Man, and when I got offered Black Widow, I was obsessed with Iron Man. I didn't know that.
She got offered Black Widow.
Interesting. I wanted to work with Robert Downey Jr. It would have been amazing, but I don't know if superhero movies are for me. They're not up my alley. I don't like them. I really don't. So there you go. Up. There's a Blunt. John, I don't know if she's just maybe...
I think she's being facetious.
She's knocking... what's that you call? Throwing a loop towards us, throwing us off the scent. I don't know. Maybe that's just us grasping at straws. I'm not really sure. But
Stephen, I have not seen the actual interview. I don't know the context of the
I'll be watching this, John, once it's released.
Yes.
If it is released.
So, I don't know if she's being sarcastic, humorous, facetious, to use a big fancy word. It's not big, it's not fancy. Everyone knows it. Well, I do. Can't speak for everyone else. I don't know the context of the comment, Stephen, so I can't possibly say whether she's being serious or not. If she is being serious, then I've took a slight disliking to her, because she's on this comic book hating bandwagon, like Jodie Foster and all these other fucking non-entities who have been kicked to the side because the rom-com movies have died a death finally. Fucking God. Hugh Grant growing up in Britain watching this fucking snivelling posh boy doing his rom-com movies in the 90s going through into the early 2000s.
Send me a man with the curly hair, the American version. It was in The Gentleman with him, Matthew McConaughey. Yeah. He's upped his game. Leonardo DiCaprio upped his game decades ago.
Yeah,
he got out.
His game as well now, Steve. Like who he sticks a bit into the Tories over here. So good guy.
Ryan Reynolds as well.
Yes.
Ditched that genre as well. Yeah, exactly.
They've all done it, Stephen. They all realise there's a career outside it. Sadly, what's her, Meg Ryan and Jodie Foster, not so much.
No.
They're yearning, Jennifer Aniston, yearning for the days of, I don't know, I'm trying to think of rom-coms just now.
Ones from the early 2000s, Along Came Polly. Actually, some of them were actually quite good. Freddie Prinze Jr.
Kiss Me, Sixpence, None the Richer video. That was a rom-com.
Yeah.
Freddie. I know you love Freddie.
Yeah.
I don't know the name of it, Stephen. It doesn't matter. The point I'm making is she's jilted as fuck. She's disappointed in comic book movies taking over. Well, look, it's all cyclical. They're the popular thing just now. It doesn't mean they are going to be in 10 years' time. It could go back to rom-coms, it could be horror, it could be drama. It's always been their drama. So don't hate on the comic book movies. That's what I'm saying, Emily. If you're being serious, if you're not being serious, then I take it all back. I want you as whatever the hell that character is in Fantastic Four. Can you tell me a huge Fantastic
Sue
Four?
Storm, yeah.
Sue Storm. Stephen, part of me still wants it to be the character, because she is a great actor, and part of me would like to see the husband and wife duo on the screen, Krasinski obviously and Blunt. If it's not to be, I'm with you. I'm not adverse to seeing unknowns cast in this, because it's always nice to have unknowns come in. I didn't know who Chris Hemsworth was.
John, I didn't know who Tom Holland was.
I didn't know who Chris Evans was before he became Steve Rogers. I wasn't. The only one I was really aware of, Stephen, was Robert Downey Jr. I've obviously Mark Ruffalo because we've seen Shutter Island, so I was aware of him. I thought he was like that guy from LA Noire.
That's right.
So they were mostly unknowns. The actors, the directors, mostly unknowns. Kenneth Branagh and Jon Favreau aside. And they grew with the franchise, so I'm not, and it's the same as Star Wars apart from Alec Guinness. and maybe Harrison Ford, if some people watched American Graffiti, it was unknowns who grew with the franchise. So I'm not adverse either way. If she doesn't want to do it, that's absolutely fine. She can go back to her fucking rom-coms, and I don't know if she's ever done a rom-com, to be fair, I'm being harsh on her. She can do whatever she wants, it's fine. Stephen, part of me thinks this is just her trying to stay in with these sort of original traditionalists from Hollywood. She's want to keep her bridges open. She doesn't want to burn her bridges by dropping to her knees and begging for a job in the comic book world, because she'd see that as cutting off her nose to spite her face with the likes of the Coppolas, the Scorseses, people like that. Maybe she's just trying to keep her doors open, I don't know.
I never thought of that, John. I never thought that there would be that snob. I know there is snobbery in Hollywood, let's not beat around the bush, but I wouldn't like to think that people would burn their bridges, as you said, you know, choosing to do a comic book film. You know, there is a level of actors and directors out there that can dictate if they want to do it or not. The Kenneth Branaghs, like you said, he's not going to be excluded from doing some Shakespearean films. He's not going to be excluded from doing heavy drama because of who he is, you know. But I never thought of that, you know. Certain actors, it may be cutting their nose off to spite their face. I don't know, John. I believe that
if it's good enough for Christian Bale, if it's good enough for Tom Holland, if it's good enough for
John, if it's good enough for Robert Redford,
exactly. If it's good enough
Michael
for
Douglas,
Jr., if it's good enough for all these actors, Stephen, who are brilliant actors of their generation, very different generations, might add, then it's good enough.
If you've ever seen Emily Blunt and John Krasinski being interviewed together, they've got this kind of comedy thing going on, you know, very sarcastic. And we already know John Krasinski is a funny man from his time on The Office. And he's a great filmmaker as well.
I want to see John in it, and I want to see Emily in it.
Yeah,
if it's not me, it's absolutely fine.
Exactly. If they're going to do it, then if they're not going to do it with them, I would rather it was just unknowns. I don't want to see
Michael B. Jordan.
No, I don't want to see Michael B. Jordan again in a Fantastic Four film.
Chris Evans.
I don't want to see Chris Evans. I hated Chris Evans when he did that role. He was too cocky.
Well, Stephen, he's got a picture deal with Marvel.
Yeah.
Everyone's assuming it's Captain America again, as you did allude to. Who says it isn't?
The twistedness in me would love to see that, John, just to see a meltdown.
We've seen it with Falsely Deadpool. He brings in his old version of Deadpool.
Yeah.
Who's to say we can't, and we're seeing Electro coming back, so who's to say we can't see same actor playing a different character coming in from a different universe? I don't give a shit.
Well, John, something I don't give a shit about is the next couple of franchises we're talking about. They're done and dusted as far as I'm concerned. And it's all about why Terminator is better for Margot Robbie than Pirates of the Caribbean. Listen, Margot Robbie is better than the Terminator franchise, and she is certainly better than the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. She doesn't need either. She does not need either.
Terminator.
No.
No.
But this is from Screen Rant, John, and I'm going to just, I was going to just pick out, do you know something, I'm going to just read the whole bloody thing because it's very interesting and it's absolutely mad as well. No, it's not, but Margot Robbie is reportedly attached to both a Terminator and a Pirates of the Caribbean reboot. But why would the former be a more fitting franchise for the actor than the latter? Released in 2003, Pirates of the Caribbean: The Curse of the Black Pearl, which was a really good film, I liked it, was an unanticipated hit from director Gore Verbinski and Disney after the then relatively recent failure of Rennie Harlin's flop Cutthroat Island. Hollywood had all but accepted the box office potential of swashbuckling action movies had sunk without a trace. Despite this perceived wisdom, the first Pirates of the Caribbean proved them wrong with a massive $650 million haul. According to critics and fans alike, the movie succeeded thanks to its stellar cast, fast-paced action, witty script, and surprise breakout character Johnny Depp's Jack Sparrow.
See you dead, mate.
You best believe in nightmares. You're in one.
You're in one.
While the sequels failed to recapture the critical success of the original, which I totally agree with, they were shit. Even though they had Jeffrey Rush in them, they were still shit.
Oh, I didn't mind them, Steve. Guilty pleasure.
I lost interest after halfway through the second one, John.
Well, I tell you this though, even though the last couple for me get a bit poor, the final one I think was the one with the flashback of Jack Sparrow hoodwinking. Was it, what's your man?
Orlando Bloom?
No, the other guy, the Hispanic guy.
Oh, I can't remember, John.
He hoodwinked him and done a reverse manoeuvre and looked back at him as he sailed by and it was an amazing scene.
Okay.
Fantastic.
No, I didn't see that. I didn't care.
A very well movie, Steve.
But while the sequels failed to recapture the critical success of the original, they were massively popular nonetheless, with each movie earning over $1 billion, save for the fifth instalment, Dead Man Tells No Tales, which still netted a more than respectable $800 million. In contrast, sci-fi horror franchise The Terminator has struggled to recapture the favour of both critics and audiences since its second outing Judgment Day. Since that 1991 landmark, the reviews and box office receipts of each sequel have grown gradually weaker. Now, leading lady du jour, Margot Robbie, is rumoured. That's right, I forgot he was in that. Margot Robbie is rumoured to be attached to the upcoming reboots of both high-profile franchises. So why is the Terminator franchise actually a better bet for Robbie's impressive career going forward than a proposed Pirates of the Caribbean reboot? That is the question. So since now, do you want me to continue, John? It's actually, listen, I think we should just decide. If you had to pick,
I tell you, Stephen, you can read that. Robbie already has a Jack Sparrow style anti-hero, and then you go down and say Terminator needs a successful reboot more. Well, I mean, I would agree. Robbie, it does need a more successful reboot, but I just don't want to fucking see it. No. Robbie's star power elevates Terminator more.
John, I don't think she needs any of these franchises.
She doesn't.
If I'm kind of trying to box us in here and make a decision on either one of the two of them, and when I think about it, I don't want to see her doing any of them. She doesn't need to do any of them. She's an A-list celebrity and fine actor on her own without these franchises. Black mark in her career. I'm going to say it. Yeah. You look at the likes of I can't even remember her name that was in that last one. Looked like Rodney Trotter. Played the Grace character. I don't know her name. She played that Terminator. Yeah. The big lanky one. Can't even remember her name. Mackenzie something. Yeah.
Davis.
Might as well be Mackenzie Crook for all I care. It might be. I don't even. John, that's the point I'm trying to make. It's done nothing for her career so far. That film came out 2 years ago.
It's Mackenzie Davis.
Is it Mackenzie Davis?
I think so. I'm going to search up just now, Steve.
Yeah.
It's going to be very hard because my keyboard's a wheel at the side.
But
I've got a fucking shoebox.
And the Pirates of the Caribbean, John, it became this Millennium's franchise.
Canadian actress.
It became this It became this franchise. It was like the Police Academy franchise of the 80s. It just went one sequel too far, and Police most Academy people.
Goes to Russia.
I think they did actually in the 7th instalment. But I just think, John, it's ridiculous. I don't even know why they're writing about this. It's a rumour. It's a rumour. It's a rumour I've not heard of. Reboots. Terminator having a reboot.
Well, she's defo in Pirates of the Caribbean, Stephen, and it's a terrible idea because Pirates of the Caribbean without Jack Sparrow, Johnny Depp, is dead in the water. Dead.
Yeah.
You can say what you want about Johnny and his acting ability. He does go a little bit over the top. He's kind of like Jim Carrey in the 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
A little bit over eager, physical actor. I like it, and it was perfect for Jack Sparrow. It was like Keith Richards on steroids.
Yeah, he was in one as well, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But his dad,
yeah, exactly, Stephen. It was his hero. He's a good guitarist, Johnny Depp as well. I tell you, I watched him play guitar. He's tremendous. So that was he modelled it on that, and that's what carried the whole franchise for me. It wasn't Orlando Bloom, it wasn't Keira Knightley, it wasn't Jeffrey Rush, it wasn't Javier Bardem, it was Johnny Depp. You take Johnny out, it's finished. You look at the box office success, it's down to Johnny Depp. For me, the Jack Sparrow character is the most compelling, that's who you go and watch. You take that out, it's finished. So not even Margot Robbie, with the whole Harley Quinn stuff, Wolf of Wall Street, I, Tonya, all this shit, she doesn't have enough gravitas to take on the Johnny Depp role in Pirates of the Caribbean, and it cannot be an all-female fucking movie again like the god-awful Ghostbusters movie from 2016, because it will flop. People will get their backs up. You'll have the sort of geeks and gamers types not want to go and watch it, they'll boycott it, it will fail. You then go to Terminator. Terminator's a fucking joke of a franchise now. 2 should have ended at 2. Should have been a duology. It was a great duology.
That was its intent, John.
Yeah, Steve, what do you think of the story, man?
I don't care what James Cameron says now. His intent was always the 2 movies. Simple as that.
And he only done the 2 movies, so he stepped away.
Yeah.
And you think of the story, Stephen, it's perfect, man. It's poetic the way it ends.
Yeah.
He's the villain, he's trying to kill them.
And that was all ruined in that last instalment, John.
Exactly.
Absolutely ruined.
You ruined the Arnold Schwarzenegger version of the character. What was he called in it? Carl or something like
John.
that.
The problem with that last, what was the last one called again?
Dark Fate.
Dark Fate. I was going to call it Genesis. That was shit as well.
Anyway,
yeah, but they killed it in the first 3 minutes for me because of the way they handled John Connor. Now, if they had done what they'd done with the John Connor scenario in those first 3 minutes and took the story in another direction, then I would have understood and respected that and went, fine, that's great. And you are making that sacrifice and you made that decision to kill off the character they were protecting for 2 fucking movies, and you kill him off in the first 2 minutes of the next instalment, because James Cameron himself said, not just that director of a shit show, whatever his name was,
Tim Miller.
yeah,
Tim Miller.
it was Tim Miller, yeah,
criticised the
yeah,
fan base for
yeah.
not going to watch
Before it
this
was even
fucking
released,
Blame the fan base.
he wanted to piss the fans off. He said it himself. I can't remember what the phrase was, but he wanted to piss the fans off as much.
And it was actually Cameron that pissed the fans off
Yeah.
by saying that John Connor was in the movie.
Yeah.
He get killed in a
Eddie.
15-second fucking scene.
He said Eddie's in the movie. Yeah,
Terrible, man.
it was used for mocap. That was always used
You're
for.
about to say though. They'd killed the character off and then immediately replaced him with a midget Hispanic
And
character.
and then just repeated the story of Terminator 2.
Yeah,
Shit.
Same story, but a
Absolute
version.
shit.
We didn't have the great blank on his fucking name. Robert Patrick. Wow! We didn't have the great Robert Patrick in there as the T-1000, was it? Instead it was some bastardised version. And the character wasn't compelling, Steve, and the villain was weak. He didn't ever convince me as an interesting character. We got a comment, is a problem to be solved in the film that can be seen in the struggle of the protagonist against the antagonist familiar in any way? If so, describe similarities and difference. I'm not sure. I don't know how you mean. Are you talking about Terminator? I don't think any problem can be solved in Terminator, Stephen.
I don't think so.
It's a dead franchise. I don't want to see any more.
John, I understand nowadays people say that, especially with that last one that came out. What was it called again?
Dark Fate.
Dark Fate. You just told me 2 minutes ago. I already fucking forgot. With the Sarah Connor thing, that was a big play on that instalment, was to, obviously get what's her face back in. Linda Hamilton. I love Linda Hamilton. I'm not being flippant here. And I think she did a great job considering. But let's be honest, the story was all about John Connor. That was what it was about. I don't care what people say nowadays, and you can't say that because he's white and he's a male. I don't give a shit.
Steve, they'll go to Salvation and say it flopped.
Yeah.
And it's all about John Connor, but it wasn't. It was about Sam Worthington.
Yeah.
He was the man of the moment. They never utilised the character. So
No.
Sorry,
Every film since the second one's had its issues, John. I think the casting in the third one was wrong for John Connor as well. I don't blame Nick Stahl. I think the chap's name was the actor. I don't think it was his fault.
No.
He did what he had to do, but it was a regurgitated version of the second movie as well. They've just not been able to get out of that sort of thing. Star Wars have failed at that as well. That sequel trilogy was homage to all the other films. If you look back and you can see it, the big moments in the sequel trilogy were all rehashed moments from the original trilogy.
There's no originality in Hollywood.
No.
They do not know how to bring in the old fan base and legacy fans and bring in a new breed, and it paralyses them.
Yeah.
They want to keep throwing in Easter eggs, regurgitating the same shit. There's no originality.
No.
It's dead, man. I mean, I can't
Dead in
think
the
of
water.
a franchise.
It's terminated.
It's terminated, yeah.
That's
And
my
it will
best
be back,
Arnie
hopefully.
impression there in a Scottish accent, John, but ended up sounding like I was a Brummie. But John, we're going to move on to our next topic. Margot Robbie, stay clear of these franchises, please. You're better than that. Chris Hemsworth shares Thor photo with Tom Hiddleston for 10th anniversary of Thor. I can't believe it's been 10 years since Thor came out. Kenneth Branagh's Thor, John. We always forget Kenneth Branagh was the director on this film, the first Thor film, which I still think is a great movie.
Yeah.
It's great to go back and watch this film. First, we mentioned it earlier, John, Chris Hemsworth. This was my introduction, just like you, to the great man himself.
He's
But
the master and the commander.
John,
Obviously,
look at those fresh faces from 10 years
Right
ago.
up. Steve, I'll actually try and get the twos up here.
Your man,
Tom Hiddleston.
Tom Hiddleston, looks like he's a little boy from an Oliver production.
See, even he looks as though he's straight out of a bar mitzvah. I'm not going to lie, he's got
Yeah.
the sort of Gene Wilder hairdo going on.
Yeah,
And that's
he has,
absolutely
yeah.
fine. He's cool as hell. He's got more hair
Yeah.
than me. And still, he's got more hair than me, despite having the same hairline.
Chris Hemsworth looks a little puffy, doesn't he?
He does, Stephen. He's not hit the steroids yet. That's why he's also on the juice now, and that's fine.
He's
an
looking
actor,
more
he
like
has to.
Liam there.
Yeah. He does looks more like the short one. What's he called? He's not Liam, is he?
I don't know their heights, John. That's your forte, not mine.
Oh, I'm fucking obsessed with actors' heights. I'm a strange beast. He's a midget. The oldest one's a midget. He's 5'10" or something, but he's a fucking midget compared to
John, this is from Screen Rant, and Chris Hemsworth celebrates the 10th anniversary of Thor by reminiscing about his and Tom Hiddleston's casting for the God of Thunder and his brother Loki, respectively. Directed by Kenneth Branagh, the fourth film from Marvel Studios opened up the cosmic side of the universe and introduced Asgard and the Asgardians, starting off as essentially nobodies when they were hired for the roles. Both actors have become household names in the years that they've consistently appeared in the MCU. Can't disagree with that, John. I'm not really
worried. You realise that Tom actually cast? He actually went and got an audition for the role of Thor first.
Oh no!
He put muscle on, and there's an actual audition tape out there.
No. Yeah, John, I can believe that he is skinny, but I remember him in that first film, John. He was fat, you know.
Sure.
Yeah, definitely. But no, I can't see him playing anyone other than Loki. John, he's brilliant, absolutely amazing.
It's just the way it is now. I mean, he's played the character for 10 years, so he's synonymous with it. It's like trying to recast Hugh Jackman as don't know, Cyclops or some shit like that. That character, James Marsden character's called.
Yeah.
Once they played that role for so long, it's hard to imagine him. And also, Chris Hemsworth is perfect. He's got the stature, he's got the physique, he's got the height, everything, the charisma.
And lately, he's got the comedy as well.
He's got the comedy, and that's because
he didn't have that in the first film, John.
No, Stephen, that's Taika Waititi.
And that's Kenneth Branagh. That's his Shakespearean direction coming out in him. But there's nothing wrong with that, John. I did like that film. It was a great introduction for that character. It's interesting as well, John. It opened up the cosmic side of the universe as well. It was needed, wasn't it?
Well, we only really had Captain America, Iron Man,
Hulk. Yeah, that was it.
And it was all earthbound. And then we went to Asgard.
It was like Doctor Who.
It was.
Modern day London.
Yes, it's fucking sick of Doctor Who. Just always London.
Yeah.
Let's go to London in the 16th century. Let's go to London in the 12th century. You're a fucking Time Lord with the entire universe at your fingertips, and you just keep going to fucking London.
Yeah.
Pish-stained, stinking London, full of murderers and jelly deals. What the fuck is wrong with you? Go to Glasgow and look at the pish-stained Glasgow instead. Stephen, it did open up the cosmic side of the universe. It was, look, even though I've got criticisms of some of the Thor movies, he is a great character. I always remember, I don't know what movie it was, whether it was the first Avengers movie, but it's when obviously the shield hits the hammer out in the woods. What the ricochet.
That was the first Avengers, yeah.
Magnificent scene, magnificent moment. These two worlds colliding. Stephen, I can't imagine anyone else playing the two characters.
No.
They're just fantastic. And you look
well,
back
apart from the recasting theatrical play that they did in that.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. And
it was his brother that actually played.
Yeah, that's right,
little brother. Little midget brother. And a huge family. I'd be raging, Stephen, I'm not going to lie. See, if my brother was like 6'3" and I was 5'10", I'd be fucking want to kill my parents. That's the kind of person I am. I'd be like, what is going on here? Why does he get Forrest body and I'm like a little Danny DeVito? Stephen, look man, I'm looking forward to Thor Love and Thunder. I hope upon every hope that I can possibly pluck out of the universe that Loki comes back in that movie. We know he's in the Loki TV show. The time variants of Thor are there. Is it Owen Wilson? And we know they can manipulate different timelines and pop him into a timeline. So wouldn't it be perfect if we get a brief, almost like when they plug the thing into their heads in the Matrix, they get a sort of explosion of information. Hopefully he gets expedited into an updated form of Loki and gets placed into Love and Thunder. Wouldn't that be amazing?
Yeah.
Do you not think?
Yeah, I think so, John. Christian Bale's going to be appearing in this film, isn't he? Love and Thunder. I can't wait to see him as well. I just want to see his portrayal of this character.
Also, Crow's playing Zeus.
Yeah, it's a great cast.
I feel like I'm Zeus when I take my pre-workout.
Yeah. John, I don't think it's all down to just Chris Hemsworth's Thor as well. Taika Waititi is obviously a big pull and actors want to work with him, and I think the best thing that the MCU did, Marvel Studios did, was hiring this guy, bringing him in to do this. And I think obviously when James Gunn was pulled away from Guardians of the Galaxy, I didn't mind Taika Waititi stepping in because he would have kept that tone, because I think both directors are very similar in that sense with their humour and their comedic timing and just their style. They're very similar in style, I believe, but good friends as well.
Yes.
So it all worked out for the best, but I can't wait to see it.
Stephen, I can't wait to see it either. I can't wait to see the Asgardians happening as well.
Yeah. That's going to be great, yeah.
Well, we know that some Guardians are in for Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
So it only stands to reason that Thor should get back and obviously do his bit with the Guardians, and hopefully Volume 3.
Yeah.
Time will tell if it's James' vision. I don't know. I don't know what his plans are.
No, we don't know
I
yet.
trust him regardless. So. Great to look back though, Stephen.
Yeah.
Sort of throwback
Definitely
Thursday,
is,
I thought before. You see how far they've came. They say they've not aged a day. They're lying bastards.
No, they definitely have, yeah.
But they still look good for their age. Certainly better than me.
Like fine wines. But John, we're going to move on to our final topic. It's all about Tilapia Vijay's Telugu debut. Budget will shock you. If you've already read it, it won't shock you, but if you don't know, it may. I know you've done a calculation, John, and we'll talk about that in a little second, but Tilapia Vijay, this is coming in from menglish.sashke.com, and Tilapia Vijay is basking in the success of Master, which was the first big ticket film to get released in theatres after the pandemic. It's still going on. The film was released on January 12, 2021. The film turned out to be a commercial hit at the box office. For those who joined new to the story, Vijay is gearing up for his Telugu debut. Yes, what you read is right. Vijay is all set to join hands with Telugu noted director Vamsi Pedapalli of Upre fame. The film is likely to be produced by Dil Raju, who's riding high on the success of Pawan Kalyan's starred Vikil Sab. The film turned out to be the highest grossing film of the year. Yeah, John, we had a big debate as well. Yeah, speculations are doing the rounds that Dil Raju is set to be offering a fancy cheque to Vijay. The film is being made on a budget of I don't know how it says RS 160 crore and rupee, yeah. Crore. And Vijay is likely to get paid more than 50% of the movie budget. Dil Raju might be paying around 80 and 90 crore as remuneration to Vijay. Still, it's unclear, and an official confirmation regarding the news is awaited from Maker's End. The principal shooting of the film is expected to begin 2022. This will be, is this 66 then?
60, maybe 7.
67, yeah. This guy's busy, isn't he? More details about Vijay's Telugu movie are awaited. Currently, Tilapia Vijay is busy shooting his tentatively titled Tilapia 65, where he'll be seen opposite Pooja Hedge.
He's playing a con artist in it, so very exciting. Almost like Kaifi.
So stay tuned to Sashke Post for all the updates. So, yeah, it was a great little article there, John.
Comment there, Stephen. Hello, welcome in.
Hi there.
The reef. I can't read it. Sorry if I say that wrong.
What life lessons can be learnt from the choices made by the characters in this story? I'm not really sure what film we're talking about here, what story we're talking about. If it's maybe Thor, or if it's... I'm not sure.
Oh, Thor.
Hey there, mate. How you doing, mate? That's Nirav. Glad you can join us tonight. It'll be the early hours of the morning in India if you're there, but...
It's the early hours of the morning here.
Yeah, it is now. Yeah, we're into this might be Wednesday's edition. We're into Thursday. Yeah. So it looks like you're doing 2 shows on the Thursday, John.
Yes, that's fine, Stephen. I've got the energy for it.
But you did a calculation, John, in terms of that.
£15.5 million I worked out, Stephen. 1 crore is equal to 10 million rupees. So I then just calculated the difference. I think it was 160 million rupees or something. Put it into 1.6 billion rupees and put it into pounds, and it came up with £15.5 million. So not a huge budget in terms of Western numbers where you can have a $300 million movie.
Yeah.
But in terms of, presuming India, it's a huge amount of money, Stephen. And obviously he's doing the sort of Telugu stuff. He's primarily a Tamil Nadu actor, so it's interesting to see him jumping over to Telugu, which is just a little bit higher up, I think.
It's 4:40. Good morning.
That's the kind of times I stay up to. I stay up to 4:45 in the morning.
Yeah, I'm normally feeding the baby at that time, and then I go back to my bed.
But I get up at 12 in the afternoon, so I don't give a shit. I get my beauty sleep regardless. Stephen, look, it'll be interesting to see how it works out, man. I don't think he's ever... It says Telugu debut, so I think Prabhas is a Telugu actor. I'm pretty sure he is, because I was surprised when it came up he was a Southern Indian actor. I didn't realise he was. It'll be intriguing to see him make this jump over to Telugu cinema, see how it works. The fact he's getting 50% of the budget, I mean, that speaks volumes for the attraction to this guy, how big a name he is. He's that attractive, they're willing to give half the budget to him.
John, I know I know it's not a comparison, but if you look at the likes of an unknown film from 1977, which wasn't heard of in Star Wars, Alec Guinness negotiated a percentage of the film as well. I think his was 3%.
Yeah.
Only 3%.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
obviously Star
was
Wars.
Profits, though, wasn't
Yeah, it was the profits, John.
He came out a very
Yeah.
rich man. Stephen, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
If you know it's going to be a success in some way, negotiate profits. Is that France?
Yeah.
You're in France.
Vive la France.
Vive la France. I've been to Paris.
Yeah.
And I loved it. It was an amazing city.
Yeah, it's an amazing country, John.
It is an amazing country.
I've been from top to bottom.
But
Great
I do
place.
prefer Germany. Controversial. But I love all of Europe. I'm a European man. Very
Yeah, you
much
definitely are, John, yeah.
I'm doing a DNA test, Stephen, to see where I come from. I sincerely hope I've got some European body in me.
Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did
Yes,
you
I
come
want to be
from?
Some French, some Dutch, German,
Cotton Eye Joe.
Italian, Scandinavian. I want to be a mongrel. And we are, we're mongrels. Stephen, getting off track here. Very excited to see I'm doing this Telugu stuff.
Yeah.
We know there was talk of him doing a pan-Indian movie. I think it was Vijay, Sefi Pafi was talking about doing a pan-Indian movie. I want to see this guy in a huge hit like KGF or something like that.
Would you
Now,
like
I
to
know
see
all
him
these
do?
movies are
Would you like to see him doing a collaboration with another big star from Telugu, John?
Yeah, I don't know any stars from Telugu. I'm not going to even try and feign ignorance, Stephen, but I did do an article. There was some Telugu actor interested in working with him. Superstar, I can't recall his name at the moment. My memory's terrible at the best of times. But yeah, I'd like to see him collab with big names from India and see how it works. Because he's massive in the south of India, Stephen, and Tamil Nadu. Chennai, I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's in. And he's an absolute box office gold standard there. Master.
Yeah.
Brought people out during the pandemic, so they know what they've got if they're offering them half the budget.
Yeah, and talking about Telepathy 65 is his next release, John, as well, with Pooja Hedge. We already know what they two can do together on screen as well, with obviously the reactions and what we've seen so far.
Yeah.
Great chemistry between those two, so looking forward to that.
Looking forward to it, Stephen. It's currently delayed, I think, which is a shame, but that's the nature of the beast. Lots of movies over in Western, Eastern, everywhere have been delayed because of this god-awful pandemic. Safety of the people, the cast, the crew is paramount, so it'll get made when it gets made, it'll come out when it comes out, and it'll be absolutely huge when it comes out, I'm certain of that. But that's going to round the show up, man.
It is, yeah.
I've been working with this antiquated
You
USB
did very well, John.
shiter of a mic. That will be determined, Stephen, when we listen back and see how the sound is. I'm sure it'll not be as bassy and deliciously velvety as the XLR mics, because they are just better than USB, that's a fact. It's fine though, I didn't sound like I was in a fucking tin.
No, back in the old days.
Here am I sitting in my tin can, far above the moon. There you go, David Bowie.
Who's back for,
Labyrinth
2.
Stephen, that's going to round it up. What's your thoughts on the topics we touched upon? If I can speak English and not have a stroke mid-sentence, what do you make about Emily Blunt coming out and speaking to Howard Stern and look to kibosh the rumours of Edge of Tomorrow 2, to kibosh the rumours of her starring in Fantastic Four? What do you make about the other topics we spoke about? I can't even fucking read them, so I'm not got a clue what they were, because my brain's like that of a 19-year-old.
We're talking about Terminator, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yes, and obviously Margot Robbie starring in Terminator, or whatever. And then the other one, Chris Hemsworth, Throwback Thursday.
Yeah.
And Telepathy, you can comment below if you've got anything to say about any of the topics.
Told you it was going to be an action-packed show, John.
Yes, Stephen, look, you've done well. We went off in tangents. We spoke about height, we spoke about Groundhog Day and Dan
Mackenzie
Asperger's.
Davis. Yeah, forgot her name
We went
again.
off the fucking rails many times, and that's absolutely fine. That's the way it should be. We don't stay on rails on this show. We need to be a little bit more adventurous, a little bit more
Well,
spontaneous.
we are going to be as well, John.
Yes.
One coming Sunday with our
Stephen,
QA.
look, man, I want to do a show like that.
Yeah.
I want to do a show where we just talk one load of shite, because we do it best,
Yeah.
and see if people it resonates.
Yeah.
And that's what we can do therein after that. Just not speak about movie news all the time. Do something different.
Yeah. Bit
Just
more
not speak
self-indulgent, yeah.
Don't speak about religion, because that's dangerous.
No.
Certainly in certain regions of the world just now. But Steve, that's going to round the show up anyway. I've been talking one load of shite all through it, and I've continued it right to the bitter end. You can comment below if you've got anything to say. You can like the video, subscribe to the channel on YouTube. Hit the follow button over on Twitch if you want to see more content like this in the future, and you will really get it, guys. But look, until then, bye-bye. I'm going to have to mute my mic manually, because I didn't macro it. Bye-bye, guys. Bye.